Jeffy I am. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Greetings, blessings to my channel. I hope everybody's fine and well and safe. I want to jump on real quick to kind of talk about stress. I'm a TBI survivor, and I used to be very mild-mannered. It used to take a lot for me to lose my temper or even get on my nerves. I have a real laid-back demeanor. But since my accident, it's hard to contain my emotions and things of that nature. I have a small tolerance for ignorance. And that's what I want to talk about today. I think it'd be kind of an interesting topic for today. Now, I live out in Central America, here in the Midwest. And I chose to get better and do my rehab and my speech therapy and stuff out here in this area, because I'm close to a major university, and I wanted the best treatment I could have. And nowadays I have issues with sometimes my doctors, because I prefer to have an ethnic doctor or straight up just a black doctor. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not because I feel a certain way with my culture and how the world is. I want to deal with somebody, especially my therapist, who's an Indian guy, that kind of relate to my circumstances and living in this part of the country. Every day, it's a motherfucking task. You know what I mean? And I hate to cuss like that, but all right, let's talk about it. I was in the store earlier. I went to DJ just to get some trail mix I like. After I left the gym this morning. So we'll start at the gym. I go to the gym, and people are pretty mild-mannered. They're down to earth, and they see my progress. And it's a small city, so they know where I came from and know what I'm trying to get back to. No, I don't want to be fully physically fit, have all my muscles and six-pack. No, I just want to be healthy and be able to, build up my stamina, my core. Brother trying to live longer. So mostly when I go 5, 6 in the morning when there's not too many people in there. Because believe it or not, even though we're in 2024, man, a lot of people are scared to be in a space with a black gentleman. And I say that, I think that has a lot to do with the politics and, all the fake news and how they portray black people in this world. And it's the wildest scenario, because I believe black people and people of culture, we influence TikTok, Instagram, algorithms, clothing, style. But getting back to my story, it's a gentleman I speak to his wife, because she works at a local establishment, gas station here. And he had the nerve to find me on social media and voice his opinion. And I haven't stepped out of line with the young lady. She know me. She know who I'm affiliated with, my people around this area. And I'm a gentleman. I speak to all the women and all the gentlemen. I'm a open person. So when it came down to it, coming to find out, I seen him this morning, right? So after I leave the gym, get dressed, and go get some gas, I see this guy. He's in front of me. I have to wait for him to come out the store for me to pull out. It was already funny how he came into the picture. So I seen the gentleman. When he comes out, I said, "Hey, I'm a goofy man," because this is some of the stuff he called me. He had like he didn't hear me. So I turned down my music. I said, "Hey man, why don't you go ahead and move your card in?" And he still ignored me. I say that to say this. You big tough white guys who have a problem with black people, or a problem, I think it's the insecurity you have with black men speaking to you women. Whatever the case may be, if you're watching this, sometimes, man, when I see you, make me want to scratch my ass. That's how much of a problem you are for me, homeboy. Get it together. But it's ironic, because he rides around town with his music bumping. I always bump some trap music. And it's a lot of Chicago people on the outside of town. They come to this area when they leave Chicago, because it's cheaper and things like that. So he don't have any black friends, don't nobody like him, and he works for the correctional facility that's about 15 minutes from here, right? So he think he's somebody, but he does everything that a correctional officer shouldn't. So it just made me laugh, and I wanted to speak about that a little bit, how people hate your culture so much, but yet they don't want to say anything at all too. Another situation. And I know you like, man, Jeff, you always got some stress. You're talking about stress. Well, today is Sunday, right? So why don't you come sit down with this brother and catch a lesson then? If not, like, subscribe, share this video. Do anything you want to do. You can even leave the channel. But we're going to talk about it today, right? Back to my DG story. I love this trail mix they have in there. So I decided, I'm going to give me some trail mix and just kind of relax today. I spent the last couple of days ripping and running. Yesterday I relaxed a little bit. So I decided, I'm gonna fix some beef livers for the dogs, and chill out and just watch this little catch up on TV, catch up on the YT streets. So when I was in Dollar General, I was getting some like the trail mix. And before I was done, this lady was trying to bogart and put her stuff on the counter. And having a TBI, I don't like people in my space. I never have. Now I'm really frantic about it. I don't like people in my space. So I asked the lady to kindly step back and give me some room. And she looked at me, and I laughed. So in true Jeff fashion, I just knocked all the stuff off the counter and started laughing. Then I told the cashier, hey man, let me get a pack of Swisher Sweets. So they had to open up the counter and do all this other stuff. So it took maybe another 5 minutes. And I laughed to myself. And before I left, this is how the country is going, right? The lady told me, oh, that's the problem with nowadays. You black folks are uppity. All you black folks around here are just uppity. And I look, y'all trying to take our jobs, y'all running us out of housing and all this. So I said, okay, and I started laughing. She said, yeah. Then she called me a name, right? So I asked her, I said, ma'am, are you prejudiced or are you racist? She's so country, she don't even know the difference. I had a good laugh at that, right? I said, ma'am, you know who I am. I said, this town is too small and you live in the projects, right? And she kind of looked at me. I said, you and your kids live in the projects with your meth head, let me rephrase that, with your addicted husband, right? And she kind of looked at me and I laughed. And I knew her feelings were hurt, so I went on about my business. But this is what I want to tell you, right? I live in a town, maybe it's 1,300 people here. Maybe, I'll say at the most, in town, there's maybe 30, 25 people of ethnic background, that's black and Hispanic. On the outside of town, it's non-existent. You have to go to the next city, which is 12 minutes away. And we have 2 projects here. They're not very big projects, but they got grass, and one of the projects has 1 bedrooms, and the other project has 2 and 3 bedrooms. And those units have upstairs and downstairs, very nice appliances, new appliances and everything, right? They got grass outside, and I always say that because growing up in Kansas City, grass didn't look that well, or you didn't have any. But these projects are for low-income people. They serve their purpose, right? So what I'm telling you, in this town, if there's 92% more white people or Caucasian people, who gonna be in the projects? How the young kids say it? Facts. So that's the message I want to relay. Like, people's minds are so messed up, and there's not really many jobs, not many at all. All the local mom and pop areas, they all are family orientated. The restaurants, we even have a gas station you can pull up and it's full serve. They'll wipe your windows down, check your air pressure while you're getting gas, instead of going to the local chain that's here. And the jobs that are here, we have a manufacturing company and a tin plate company, right? Now, most people that work at these jobs, a lot of towns people work in there, but most people work from out of town. No, it's a decent wage, but my daughters that have jobs at this moment, my teenage daughters, make more than at the tin plate company. Make more than the people at the tin plate company. The fabrication metal company starts off about 18, which is decent, but you still can't, I feel like you got to work 50, 60 hours to make a living. And that's what kind of town we live in. So a lot of out-of-town people in the surrounding cities, smaller cities, come to these places to work. I'm a disabled man, so I'm around, I see stuff. The addiction rate is high. Opioids are bad in this area. It's not my people. It's not black and brown people. People that live in these projects, again, mostly white folks. And it's no downplay to the projects or the low-income housing, because they nice. I think I would live there if I didn't have no other options. They got grass, parking units. It doesn't even look like a project. You can come anywhere in the world and see a white project. You want to come here. And then, just thinking about people's lives, not lives, but the information they're giving. For this lady to say that to me, it was funny. And I just really had to laugh at it. So what I'm going to say might get me in some trouble. I may lose some followers. But what I'm going to say is she didn't use her privilege right. Now, white people, you do have privilege. And, I deal with white folks. People been in my life. It's a weird dynamic being out here. The property's been out here, but I never lived out here. I never wanted to. I thought this may be the best place for me to get my body back together, get my mind back together, especially food-wise. And the ideologies and what they really think and watch on TV. They really think, Trump is the greatest thing on the earth. A bad businessman that like to grab vagina. Real talk, man. It's funny. He can sit there and lie and debate and comment. Not answer questions in his debates. And people are really in tune with him. And it's really whack living out here in this part of the country where none of the tax breaks, nothing applies to these people. The farming industry is owned by big companies, big conglomerates. People out here struggling, and I'm watching it. There's a lot of homelessness because have you ever seen a homeless man in the country, or a homeless woman, or a homeless family in the country? Come here in the middle of America, you'll see a little bit of all that. And privilege is one thing that they don't get. And yes, I'm talking about, and I will went a bit longer, and kind of voicing some opinions because I'm in that mode today. The other day I wasn't feeling it, and today I'm really not feeling it. But it's really, the highest income out here is not a regular U.S. average. And for me to drive European cars, to dress like I do, I put in enough time and money in the damn system to at least have a decent living. Why don't I deserve that? Because I'm a black man? One thing I do understand living in this country, it made me understand the laws, especially government, SSI, food stamps and all that. I see it firsthand from these white people's point of view. I know that sounds bad, but that's the only way I can describe it right now. I'm not going to take the time to articulate what I really want to say. So, being disabled, it's a lot of things that are available to me, right? But I also realize, even though I have a brain injury, I am not a drug addict. Yes, I have a medical card, and there's even stipulations to that. if you are disabled with a brain injury. So, but I realized most people in this area, I say in a 100-mile radius, even in the city where my kids live at, everybody that's disabled there are on drugs. How is drug usage being an addict a disability? And there's more programs and more housing and a lot of things that are open for those people. And it's mind-blowing. And they keep talking about black people are taking their jobs. And I also heard this is a good one. One of my guys that live down the street, down the road a little bit, you know, he's into camping and hunting. He's buying guns. And he had to tell me the other day, hey, Jeff, that's in my white people voice, right? Hey, Jeff, man, do you think there's going to be a civil war? I was like, yeah, I think so, because your boy, you know, we started talking about some different things. He's an open-minded guy. He was like, yeah, I think them there Mexicans is going to take over the earth. They just constantly keep having babies. And did you hear about that plane that goes from middle America down to California that specializes in sending women, underprivileged women there just to do abortions? I said, say, man, you can get you can cross the state line and get an abortion over here, pimp. You can go to St. Louis and get an abortion. And I just started laughing about shit. Oh, I cussed, didn't I? Oh, I'm sorry. But it made me realize that the way people view the earth and the world, if they don't leave their area or anything, they don't get how 2024 is. They don't know what real poor people look like. And this is funny. They don't know what people with money really look like. They watch TV and see these videos, and you know, when they look, our images are not really positive in our eyes, but in their eyes, they looking at it like all black people do that. But that was a scary thought. This man is buying guns, getting ready for a civil war against people of color. And he considers me somebody he's talked to. That's scary, right? So you know what? Being a two-time bonded felon, you know, weapons are not my thing. But try to come on my property or my house then, since you thinking like that, right? And yes, this is not how I usually talk or how I usually am. But I think somebody needs to say it instead of being there, you know, thinking about the negative and what's going on in the YouTube streets and all the BS going on in the real world. There's some real thoughts out here that are really messed up and scary. The images on TV, they're making Kamala Harris, you know, seem like she's a witch doctor. She sleeps her way to the top. I don't like her policies, but we don't have many options to vote for. You know what I mean? Then you got the older generation talking about, oh, you use your right to vote. Use your right to vote. We died for that. People have marched for that. Then why you vote for Trump? I don't get it. A lot of people say, people of color, well, everybody says they had more money when Trump was in office. They was getting little raggedy stimulus checks and thinking that was some money, right? I wonder why the economy is the way it is now. People are turning around, looking at each other, realizing that they've been kind of bamboozled. So what's the best option? Okay, another example, then I'm gone. This morning also, and I played it lightly, right? This young man was on his phone, and I was trying to push past him. Like I said, I was getting gas and everything, and I wanted to address another young man. But he was on his phone, and I was like, hey man, you can't just walk in line. And he was like, oh, I'm with this guy right here, which was 2 people up. I said, but you're not up there with him. He said, man, I don't want no trouble or nothing. I said, trouble? I said, I started laughing. Because the first thing they do is get scared and talk about trouble. Oh, I'm scared of the little black man. Why are you scared of a man that's 5'7", well 5'8", 180-pound black man? He's taller than me, bigger than me. But I didn't say anything that was going to I didn't threaten him or anything. I was just trying to figure out what he was doing, because you were not going to jump in front of me in line. I already had been waiting a couple of minutes, in line. But the fear factor is up so high, it's scary. And yes, I did in true Jeff fashion. When that was kind of resolved, and he realized that, maybe I should get up there with my homeboy, and it wasn't nothing forceful, nothing. And I laughed. I said, "Hey man, use your white privilege, use your white privilege right." He said, "Huh?" I said, "Use your white privilege the right way." And he kind of looked at me, and he didn't really know what to do. He turned, beat red, and I had to catch myself. So that's why I'm on here venting right now, because I think if you're gonna follow me, and you love the joking Jeff, and the alpha man I am, you got to get to know this person too. I'm about to be 50 this year, and I tolerate no ignorance. And and if you're gonna be like that, you need to learn the difference between racist and prejudice. I think people are prejudiced of something, all people. But if you want to be a racist, that's a whole different story. They both ignorant, but the same, but different. So learn that if you want to be any of that, right? So with that in closing, we talked about it. Jeffy I am. Man, y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, man. Hydrate. Be safe.